about it right now, everything's okay. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what kind of stuff is going on in your life, underneath it all, everything's actually all right. You're okay. You have more power than you like to give yourself credit for. And if you have something that's going on in your life right now that's challenging or painful, it's just a reminder to take a little bit better care of yourself. Because you're worth it. You can have this feeling anytime you choose.
Hi guys, Significant Donut here. I just had my first Blade show and I wanted to tell you guys all about my experience. I'm going to go through the people that I meet and some of the highlights here and there because honestly, it's mostly just the people that made Blade show such a good time. Starting from day one, I flew from Michigan at around 5:30 a.m. and landed at ATL at around 7:30ish. I actually was so nervous the night before that I ended up sleeping only about half an hour and then getting to the airport at around 3 a.m. to be early. I got my rental car once I reached ATL and drove to the Cobb Galleria and chilled there for the next fewish hours until the line started moving. And mind you, I was outside waiting in the sun for at least 1.5 hours in the blazing sun. I don't recommend that, so really plan around that. Getting there early so you can be inside with the AC. I did not get that, unfortunately, and it was not fun. However, after early admissions and then general admissions started moving up, I immediately ran in to the Squid Industries booth to buy a live Blade Tsunami. And in doing so, I was able to meet the Lucas Cow, who I was such a fan of, and it was actually kind of surreal. And he was a really cool dude. So I can finally see the guy behind a lot of the products in Squid Industries. I have a couple of Krakens, the Squiddy B. After buying the Nami, I was a dumbass and cut myself almost immediately with my new Nami. Once on my thumb and another on the index finger. Mind you, this live blade was actually crazy sharp. And man, that hurt. I'm not gonna lie. That thing went kind of deep. And it actually kind of fucked up my flipping for the next couple days, since it was in a really awkward spot where the band-aid would cause it to slip, and anytime that Balasan touched that spot, it would hurt. Granted, I'm still not a fantastic flipper, but it still made flipping a lot less fun over the next couple of days. The first person I met was Corbin Levins, and it was a really cool way we met. I'll talk about that in just a second, but this man's Wired interview got me interested in ballad songs again, and the interest grew into a full-on appreciation and a deep dive into the hobby. I no shit met him in line to get into the Blade show on Friday. While I was waiting in the hot-ass sun, he walked by like pretty much in front of me. I looked, did a double take, and I pointed at him with a really confused face, and then he pointed back with a smile. And I asked, "Are you Corbin?" He said, "I'm Corbin Levins." And we didn't have a chance to talk there because he was kind of running around doing something, so I don't blame him. But eventually later, I actually had a chance to talk to him a bit more and get a photo with him after I got in. And honestly, it was such a cool and random way to meet such a cool ass guy. Corbin he was so chill about everything, and I really, really appreciated it. And after meeting him, got into the show, bought my Nami, cut myself. I met Will and Brandon, and meeting these two was an incredible experience. Not only did I get a chance to get photos of them too, but they made a really critical effort in actually trying to talk to me and to any other individuals that were around who came up to say hi too. And to me, that means a lot, and I'm sure it means a lot of other people, because I've definitely met people who were kind of dismissive, and granted, they don't have to talk to us because they're their own people, and I respect that. But the fact that these two made an effort really means a lot. And after I got into the hobby, I did the classic watch every video available, and these guys were one of the first that I speed ran in watching. And after the first video I watched, which was the Squid Industries Squid Trainer V3.5 review, I was hooked. After I got some photos of them, they were running around from booth to booth, working really hard to make their magical content. And Will and Brandon, if you guys happen to see this, I really want to thank you for working so hard to make the content that you do. And meeting you guys on that first day was an absolute dream and a treat. After I got my photos with them, I met up with my first friend that I made, Four Fingers with a Knife. He made that first day experience a lot less anxiety ridden, as now I'm not trying to figure out what to do next or who to talk to. I just have a homie by my side, and we're just chilling to check out whatever we can. And from there we went to the Machine Wise booth, and from there we met Blade Bias, or Chimera EE, or Ethan. And meeting him was fucking awesome. I actually first saw him with Brandon when I was waiting in line. I tried to wait, but they were really far, so I'm like, all right, I want to probably say hi to them later. But meeting him there was really cool because he is, again, incredibly chill. And when he was trying out some of the Machine Wise battle songs, it was really fun to see him do the classic combo that he does in the videos, and that you see pretty much in every video. And it's a nice thing to see. I did wish I talked to him more, but I'll be honest, I was still kind of starstruck as a fan and got nervous talking to him. And of course, he was also incredibly busy talking to a lot of people, so I'm glad he made time to talk to me. Again, which is not at all his fault by any means, or anyone else's fault who were busy, because like me or like other people, he's here to see people that he hasn't seen in like a year. And I'm, again, just incredibly grateful to have a small chance to talk to him. I actually watched his pre-Blade Show video, and he said that it breaks his heart that people would message him after Blade Show, that they were too nervous to talk to him. And that gave me the confidence and opportunity to walk up and talk to him. And honestly, that was seriously cool. So after meeting Ethan and chilling around the main show hall, me and Four Fingers with a Knife went back to the Squid Industries booth, chilled a little bit, and then I met Benjamin Flips. And I don't know about you guys, I actually watched a lot of his videos and his tutorials for improving flow, and that helped a lot with my sense of connection between tricks. And I had a lot of good chances to talk to him throughout the show, which was awesome. Because honestly, just talking to someone that you watch, it's a very strange experience, but it's usually a good one, and it was really cool. We actually spent a lot of time talking together at the pit and by Squid Industries, just flipping and talking. And for those who haven't met him before, he's really chill and he's really down to earth. And it was an absolute joy to talk to him. And Benjamin, if you're watching this right now, dude, I cannot wait to see you again next year. I am still working on that parabolic or reverse parabolic combo that you posted. Wow, your stuff is so much fun to try. So if anyone out here, is watching and hasn't heard of Benjamin Flips, just subscribe to him. Subscribe to Blade Bias, Chimera EE, the Will Hirsch channel, and the Will Hirsch Flips channel, and the Brandon Baker channel. Just subscribe to all of them. They're all amazing. And after that, I met up with someone new named Lexi, and we chilled at the pit early. I got called into work, so while I was at the pit, I was actually working, and then Lexi had to leave early, so unfortunately I did not get to spend a lot of time with him, but he is incredibly cool. And while I was working, people started pouring in from the main show hall, and it was kind of weird because there was a lot of people there. And I met up with a guy named Bach McGee, really cool fucking guy. and Benjamin. We were just chilling in the same corner with 4 fingers with a knife. And after work, we just slept for a while. I got some good footage, and I went to go dinner with Bach McGee because we were both high-key starving, and we had a really good conversation. And that dinner really grounded me after a whole day of just a bunch of noise and people just from everywhere. And that just builds up a lot of energy that you kind of just wears you down. So that slowdown and chill atmosphere actually helped a lot. So Bach McGee, if you're watching this, thank you, my dude. I really appreciate you for that. You're such a cool guy. And again, I can't wait to see you out there. That dinner was also just really good. I really needed food. So after we ate, we went back to the pit to practice. Not me, mostly Bach McGee and some other people, because that night they had the Acid Bowl, which was a flipping competition in the pit to compete for an Acid Works sponsorship. And the only really big rule I know is that it was a 30-second stint where they would flip as much as I could in those 30 seconds versus I think Ballet Camp's 10 seconds. And I just had a good time watching people flip. I try to get some footage here and there, but honestly, it's kind of hard since we were all just in one big circle, and it was kind of hard to get in between people without blocking their view. And, I don't want to block anyone's view of seeing the fantastic flipping. Before the comp, I did get a lot of good footage of people flipping, and I actually met Pierce Isn't Paranoid, Turk Flips, and Stick Flips. And I got some footage of him. I'll try to put it up now so you guys can see. They're also really cool guys. I love them too. And after that, I chilled with Benjamin and some of the aforementioned people and got to watch the competition. As someone who comes from Michigan, I haven't really seen anyone else flip in real life other than myself. And holy shit, this competition was just a small taste of what I'm about to see the day after. And it's absolutely insane how much cooler it looks in person over video. Unfortunately, I didn't stay for the whole competition as I was running on that half hour of sleep, and I drove another half hour to my Airbnb before I just straight knocked out. Yeah, day 1 was a little overwhelming, but it gets better after that for you, I promise, or at least it did for me. So day 2, after getting a really good night of sleep, I showed up maybe about an hour before Ballet Camp because I knew my friend Bach McGee. He was a alternate, so I wanted to see if he would get in. And what I learned was the Acid Bowl was just an appetizer, but Ballet Camp was a full course meal. This was the craziest thing I've seen in the balisong hobby ever, and I can't even describe the amount of skill in this room during the event. I eventually just stopped recording because I was so focused on watching. Here are some clips of that. And unlike Acid Bowl, like I mentioned, Ballet Camp only gives you 10 seconds to really perform a lot of crazy tricks. And in those 10 seconds, I can't even imagine what people think of and put on in these combos, because from what I understand, a lot of them freestyle it, and that's insane. And of course, congrats to Bryson for the win. His combo was crazy. My favorite part, and I think a lot of people's favorite part, was the aerial to palm fan. The transfer of momentum into the smoothness of the palm fan was absolutely wild. I can't stop thinking about that. And I'm glad I got the chance to meet him. So after Ballet Camp, I had the time to walk around with some of my friends to check out more of the stuff at Blade Show. Then we stopped by the pit and flipped a little bit and talked to some people. That's actually how I met Pigs again. I met him earlier in day 1, but it was a very brief interaction. But I met him again the day after on day 2. So while I was flipping with Turk Flips, and then Banks comes up, starts flipping, shows us a really cool trick, or a transitional trick, from a index roller into a 0G index chaplain. I got a clip of that, and I got a clip of him flipping my black speed channel tonsil kraken. He flipped it for about maybe like a minute, 2 minutes, and after I recorded the clip, he just disappeared. What a legend. It was such a random encounter, but it was funny. It kind of brings up a lot of what the pit is. The pit itself is a really cool experience because I've always heard about it in the Blade Show videos, but to see it and experience it was something completely different. For day one's pits, I didn't get to appreciate it as much as I was working and running on little to no sleep at all. But for day 2, it was a lot more fun because I got to talk to more people, and we just sat/stood in circles to flip, get some clips, and talk. I got a lot of chances to talk to Bach McGee, Pierce Isn't Paranoid, Turt Flips, Four Fingers with a Knife, and Benjamin Flips, which was really nice as I felt like I was making a better connection with these new individuals who were slowly becoming new friends. I also got to flip Will's Tater song because he had his case out and I was able to try it out. That was an interesting experience. And I also got to flip Brandon's butter knife, which was also a really fun experience. It was really fucking weird to flip that thing, but God, I've always wanted to do it ever since I saw him, hand it to people at Blade Show in the previous videos. After chilling for a bit, at the current pit, there was going to be a award show. So Will gathered up all the folks. We went down to the original pit, and after hanging out for a little bit, I was starving, so I asked Brandon for food recommendations, and he recommended Iron Age, which is an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue spot. So the 4 of us went to go eat there based on his recommendation. And mind you, I woke up late, went straight to Ballet Camp, did not eat the entire day. So I, for one, was incredibly excited. And I think the guys were also excited since they were also starving. For one, Brandon, you're absolutely right. That place fucking slaps really fucking hard. And I can't explain how food connects people, but it really does. There is nothing like hungry people eating amazing food, talking about food, and just talking about themselves. That experience was like nothing else, and it's definitely core memory with these guys. And for me, this really cemented our friendship, especially since it was all of our first East Blade show. And thinking about it, what a crazy good way to end it on a day 2. So for day 3, we showed up early to meet up with a Korean barbecue group, which Iron Age is a Korean barbecue place. We walked around, and I actually got my Squid Trainer, which I think I got in day 2. I got it engraved with a laser. It's the coolest fucking thing. Just look at this thing. Holy crap, it's stunning. And I can't even explain how much I like the Squid Trainer. I thought I'd hate it because I heard it was the heaviest battle song from Squid Industries, but God, do I actually love how it flips. It's, I think, one of the more neutral trainers that they have, or if not the most neutral trainer. And it was actually done by the original GOAT in the main Blade show floor. And if you Google them, if you want to get stuff laser engraved, you can send stuff in. Their brand mascot is a goat in a pimp suit, in a purple pimp suit. It's actually kind of funny. But yeah, I got that laser engraving job for about $20. What a fucking deal that is. And it took maybe about 3 to 4 minutes to get everything set up, and I loved it. So after we got our stuff engraved, we walked around a little bit. Got to see some more knife stuff at Max Ace, which I think they had the Snow Owl, really good fucking battle song. Civivi, CKRT. We actually played around with the Axe prototype there for a bit, so I'm going to throw up a clip of that, which is really cool. And I know it's Blade Show, and they have a lot of knives there, but I'm a very, very basic folder guy. I actually carry around my 940 Osborne, because that's probably the most practical thing I have. And I'll be completely honest, most knife stuff is so similar to me, and they're all essentially kind of the same, except maybe the folder mechanism is a little different, and maybe the materials. The only time I'll say it's not the same is when it comes to the really over-engineered ones. That was a cool experience. I mostly saw a lot of that at CKRT. They have some really dope stuff there, especially the deployable karambits. I had a lot of fun messing around with those with the friends. I'm also a very big gun guy. I actually got to see Nighthawk and HK at Blade Show. Fucking insane. At Blade Show, you see these top tier guns. And I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm incredibly happy to get my hands on some of the most sought out guns, including the MR556A4 and the Sandhawk. Holy shit, are they crazy nice. Being able to hold them is just a different experience than seeing them in videos. And I can definitely see why when people say these just feel expensive. I would love to get one of those down the road, but with a price tag of $4,000 plus for each one, it's not going to be anytime soon. And the guy at HK, actually, he was really cool. He had a fun time explaining everything to me because I was just curious to hear all the processes and hear a lot about the product itself from a direct person at HK. Unfortunately, after chilling with the guns and walking around a little bit longer, Four Fingers with a Knife had to leave early, it's really sad. He was the first friend that I made at Blade Show. But luckily, after the Korean barbecue the day before, we actually had a group chat made that will keep us in touch until the next Blade Show, which I'm glad. So eventually, it was just Pierce Isn't Paranoid, Turret Flips, and I. We walked around some more to check out any last minute knives, and we all ended up getting almost matching OTFs to commemorate our first Blade Show. Let me pull that up real quick. It's made by Kratos Knives, and this is my first OTF, so it's a little weird to get used to. I think it's actually kind of convenient to open and close, so I've actually been EDCing this over my Benchmade Osborne. And we got a good discount on it since it was literally at the end of the show, so I think we got 100 off for all three. So fucking love that. I also traded my Nami trainer for this, which is the Thomas Balisong Aragon. And I think this is the one that Blade Bias Ethan had and traded or sold. And I know he didn't really like this as a flipper. I actually love how it flips. It feels really good in my hand. It's also just fucking beautiful. And it's kind of a part of Balisong history. I don't know. There's just some sort of idea that Ethan owned this and now I own it. It's cool. I'm just a huge fan, so I like it a lot. And I do not regret that trade. I've been actually trying to get rid of it for a while, so I'm glad I got something I like out of it. So after we got our knives, Blade Show closed, we actually just turret flips, Pierce Isn't Paranoid, and I, we went over across the street to hit back day at the Planet Fitness, which is really random. But again, it's another core experience. It's just such a fun thing at a very random time. After we hit a very good back day, it felt fantastic. We went to Maggiano's Little Italy, maybe about a 2-minute walk down. Met a really shitty driver. That dude fucking sucks. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are, but damn, they tried to steal our spot and got mad at us. Anyways, we're not gonna talk about that person. It's all about good vibes. So Turret Flips loves Italian food, so we went there to get some Italian food for them. And wow, was it good. We all loved it. We all ended up getting chicken Alfredo. We all got the same thing. And it was fantastic. The service was absolutely amazing. A definite place to go back to someday down the road. For anyone out there listening and hasn't been to Maggiano's Little Italy, if you like Italian food and good service, just go to one. Tell them it's your first time and you heard from someone that this place is legendary and it's just amazing. It's a chain, but every chain that I've been to from Maggiano's has been wonderful. It's an amazing experience every time. So trust me, if you love Italian food, go there. So after we eat, we headed to Ballet Rave because by that time it was roughly about the time that people started heading there. I think around 6 o'clock. And when we were driving there, we saw some of the craziest fucking houses. The houses we saw on the drive there, could compete with some of the houses I've seen in Michigan in terms of how extravagant they are. I wish I got some videos of it, but I was driving, so I had to drive safe with precious cargo in the back seat, Pierce and Turt. Yeah, they're precious cargo, so I couldn't risk them getting hurt. And Balor Rave itself, oh my god. I don't know what I expected, but it exceeded my expectations, and it was an absolute fucking vibe. Here's some footage. Hit it. So at Ballet Rave, we showed up early, so there wasn't a lot of people there. I wanted to get some clips since the lighting was nice, and I saw people kind of taking some last minute clips of each other flipping. So I got some really cool flips of Austin flips. I think it's Austin flips. Oh god, I'll put his Insta up here. Got some of Pierce's and Paranoid, of course. Got some of Turt flips because they deserve cool clips too. And of course, I also got a really good opportunity to get some good clips of Banks. He was there too. Getting some clips for him was honestly really fun, and watching him flip in person and through the camera is just different. I also got the chance to talk to Will again here. We talked about dancing because I saw him dancing, and I remember in his 100K special video, he talked about dancing being something he really enjoyed doing. He's a really good dancer. Let me put up the clip right now. Oh my god, he was tutting, he was bone breaking again, which is insane to me, and he was just vibing and having a good time, and that was amazing to watch. Having the chance to talk to him there was really nice because I know that he has been incredibly busy with Brandon to get really good footage for their upcoming Blade Show video, and seeing him to get a chance to cut loose and relax was nice. It made me happy that he was able to just have fun now after having probably a stressful weekend. And since seeing him dance, I dance too. I got to get back into practicing for dancing so I can show him some of my moves next Ballet Rave, impress him a little bit. The vibes overall at the Ballet Rave was immaculate. Oh my god. I'm not a rave person at all, but this felt a lot more intimate, with one being less people, two having not deafening music. The music was just good too. Tsuko, good shit too. My god. I was able to get photos of a lot of people. I know some people didn't want their photos taken, so I actually deleted those for their sake, just so I can respect them. I did not get any photos myself because I was just so focused on capturing the moment of other people. And I know not just for me, but for a lot of people, this was their first Blade show. And so I hope that this video and some of the photos that I have was able to capture a lot of good moments for them. And it being the first show meant a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to them. So I went home after that, and let's talk about Blade Show for a second. Or let's talk about how I felt. At the risk of being vulnerable, I actually debated leaving on the very first day. I know it's incredibly dramatic, but I'm not an incredibly extroverted person. It takes a lot for me to push myself to talk to people, and honestly, a lot of times it's just pure coincidence or luck that pushes me to say hi and keep the conversation going. I felt so intimidated by everyone, especially since it felt like everyone there knew each other and was comfortable with one another, and I'm just there by myself and trying to figure something out. It felt uncomfortable for me to try to weasel my way into other groups and to talk to people, but I know that's something I'm just overthinking in my head. Bless my wonderful girlfriend who, supported me going to Blade Show. She actually is kind of the reason why I stayed all 3 days and bought all 3 days of tickets, Airbnb, car rental and stuff. And she gave me the motivation to keep talking and to meet new people, because if I didn't, I would not have met the amazing friends that I made through this weekend. I get anxious and nervous meeting new people, but I got incredibly lucky meeting people. and I will keep in touch with them and be ready to see them again next year. Along with that, I got to meet my favorite creators, makers, and it was absolutely surreal. Being able to casually talk to them, especially since I spent so much time watching their content, it feels almost like a dream. Like you never thought you'd reach this point in talking to them and meeting them in person, shaking their hand, taking a photo with them. And granted, I've only been in the hobby for about 6 months, and I can't even explain how cool this community is and how amazing everyone has been, and everyone that I've met has been. Again, I'm making content because of how much I like this hobby and how fun it is. And maybe I can make something that people enjoy and can learn from. And if you met me and you know who you are. Thank you for making this an absolute core memory. Seriously, I can't thank you all enough for how amazing you all are. This was my first major convention outside of my state or just even outside my comfort zone. So this was a big risk for me. And spending this much money and to be able to meet all these people in such a short time was awesome. That night at Korean barbecue was an amazing memory that I will cherish for a long, long time. Until we can make more memories together. And I made new friends that I will continue to miss until I meet them again. And to those who just got into the hobby or have yet to go to their first blade show because they're nervous, trust me, I understand how you feel, as I hit both those points dead on. I am new and this is my first blade show. Save your money and go next year. This experience was absolutely amazing, and I can't describe how good it will be for you, as only you can feel what you feel when you show up for your first blade show, when you meet your favorite creators, when you make new friends, and when you make memories that last a lifetime. Tell me that it's not worth it after experiencing all of those wonderful things. For all of you watching now, thank you for watching. Blade Show is amazing. Please take good care of yourselves and your loved ones, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.